Welcome to the McAllister Report. We join John McAllister, top football evaluator, as he shares wisdom and interviews coaches and athletes from around the country. Enjoy today's podcast.
Hello, welcome to the John McAllister Report, and I am John McAllister. We talk about a lot of different subjects, with a lot of different people. And today, my first interview with a senior who is already committed to a university. Braden Dougherty, from tight end from Dublin, Coffman, a few weeks ago made the decision to go to Columbia University in New York City. And at the time, I thought it was really a smart move, and it still is a smart move. You know, he's going to get a good education. He's going to come out with a pretty good job coming out of Columbia, and he's going to be playing football. And how can you beat that? And what an experience. And he's excited. Talked to him earlier. He's excited about going. He's 6'5", about, I would guess, 225. He's going to get bigger and stronger, but he is a nice-looking tight end. We talk about Columbia. We talk about, playing tight end, and also just some general questions to him about getting to know him. Again, I'm excited because I think prospects in the 23 class still have to really weigh what they're doing, because the transfer portal's out there. The NIL is going to change things, and you're really going to have to try to be selective on colleges. And maybe the Power Fives, it might not be for you. But that's just my thought. Anyway, back to the interview. We're going to talk here in a minute with Braden Dougherty from Dublin Coffman High School. Sit back and enjoy. Tonight, my guest was Braden Dougherty from Dublin Coffman High School, and I'm really excited to have him on because he's already committed to Columbia, big-time Ivy League schools, and he's excited about it. Let's start right away, Braden, with why Columbia?
Well, for me, first it was the coaches. I think I really connected with them well, and I like how they do things. I like their philosophies. Moving past that, it was just the city. The campus is awesome. Western Manhattan's a really nice area. The facilities are also nice. And, the education just speaks for itself. It's a great opportunity for me.
On a tweet, I said, you better start thinking about schools where, like in the East, where you're going to come out with a good job.
Yeah, for sure.
Come out with a good job and think about making money rather than trying to be in the NFL, which these guys aren't going to be. But also start thinking about money. And we talked right before we came on about the transfer portal. That's still not done yet. And, I had a guy last summer say, John, I can go in the transfer portal and get a 6'4", 230-pound tight end. Now, why would I take a guy that's 6'4", 210 pounds out of high school? So I think and that's one of the reasons I wanted you on, because I think it's a compliment to you. I think it's a smart move. And the other thing is, I saw you play last year in person over at Finley, and I thought you guys did a good job. I thought you blocked well and caught the ball in the playoffs. Didn't you play Finley? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did last game last year.
But like I told you earlier, and we'll go on to something else, I thought you might be an offensive lineman, man. You got that big frame and you have really good feet, but you also catch the ball. Okay, let's talk about your favorite position, tight end. Why tight end?
Honestly, I do love blocking, but you get a little bit more glory just being able to catch the ball, and it's fun to catch it. It's fun to run. It's fun to run people over. So
And does Columbia have a tight end then?
they do.
Play?
Yeah,
Okay.
they do play tight end.
And then you could probably even go to H-back too. But if you got the tight end,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, they're pretty competitive. I think right now they're 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
And they just beat Harvard, which was probably a big win for them.
For sure.
Because Harvard, I think they're a little bit down this year, but that's a heck of a program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for sure. And then and the other thing is people don't understand with Pennsylvania, some of the schools, they play good football.
For sure.
They play good football. Obviously it's not the Big Ten or whatever, but they play really good football, I think. Tell me about tight end. What do you say you like to block, but you also catch the ball? What do you think your strengths as a tight end?
I think my footwork is definitely a big strength in blocking. You said it too. I think that I'm good at knowing where I'm going and seeing the defense and recognizing that I need to block someone or I need to snap off to a linebacker and just being quick on my feet. I also think catching the ball, I have a large catch radius, obviously, so I can go and high point it and I can catch in traffic pretty well too.
Good point. That's what I was going to tell you. You do high point.
Yeah.
You catch the high point, and I think you got to learn to run quicker after you catch the ball.
For sure.
But you're not 6'2", 190 pounds either. So,
yeah.
But those are just things. Now, I did watch your highlight film, and I think there's one you chipped the defensive end and stepped inside and got the linebacker or the inside guy. Your feet are pretty good. Like I say, the idea is to get on the field and play as soon as you can. And, who knows? You may be in a year 265. I hope so, because that means stronger and then play a lot of different positions and stuff. So you've played basketball in the past, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
You're taking your senior year and focus on other things, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough decision, but with my injury sophomore year and kind of missing some of that unilateral strength in my legs, I'm just trying to get all that back and be as durable as possible for these next 4 years.
Yeah, I was going to say your goal is back to football, and that's what you should be working for and everything.
For sure.
Okay, let's talk about what made you decide to be a football player in the beginning?
To be honest, when I was younger, I didn't really like football that much. I've been playing for 10 years, but I was always more of a basketball guy until I got to high school. And then I kind of realized that my size gave me a big advantage and just kind of my mentality and my work ethic also gave me an advantage. So I knew that I might not have all the skills to be a great basketball player, but if I can go in the weight room as much as I do and get stronger, and it'll help me more in the football field. So there's a lot more work ethic wise that I could put into football. And that really carried me to where I am.
Okay, that's really good. And so you've kind of just told me a little bit about how do you found success as work ethic, things like that, and really get going and everything. Okay, tell me about playing defense. Did you play defense at all?
This year I didn't play as much, but last year I played a good amount.
Okay, what do you see as the biggest change at Coffman right now?
Honestly, our culture from 2 years ago,
football-wise?
Yeah. Football-wise, I think schematically defense, we changed a lot more pressure. And I feel like overall we were just more comfortable in our schemes this year. It was a lot of transition last year. So now that we were familiar with the playbook and familiar with all our assignments, it just made all like the preseason and early practices run a lot smoother.
Right. And plus you had a whole year of conditioning.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And you guys weren't used to getting up early in the morning, I don't think.
Not much, no.
Boy, it's on a roll, I think, though. I know you got beat the other night, but, it's on a roll. And I like Mark and I like our Coach Crabtree, and I like the new guy 2 years ago. I think both those guys, and they have different personalities, but they both have a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think you need to improve now? As you look at Columbia, what do you need to improve on?
This offseason, it's going to be a lot of explosive leg strength and just regaining all my unilateral strength too. So I'm I'm kind of lopsided. Like since I broke my leg, I have less strength in my left leg for sure. So I want to get that back to normal so I can plant and cut easier. And on the topic of like planting and cutting, I definitely want to get faster laterally and vertically, but mostly just quick feet and being able to move in space more fluid.
And get those core muscles strong.
Mm-hmm.
Core muscles, and I had preached to that, especially the quarterbacks. Get those core muscles up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about school? What do you think you're going to major in? Do you know yet?
I'm still pretty undecided. I've looked a little bit into economics and business management, but other than that, it's kind of just I'm going to take a couple classes and see what I like, and I should find my major pretty quickly.
Okay, and now let's talk about where you've been. You're a senior. What advice? Let's go with advice to young players about playing football at Coffman. What are you going to give them?
I mean, honestly, I just say put every second and every hour you can into the program. There's no need to, try and make excuses, even if you don't want to be there. Like just showing up and doing it over and over and over, you'll never regret it. Like I never regret all the time I put in, and I think that really just helped me become a harder working person. Just putting every single practice and lifts and conditioning all into all that stuff combined just made me a better player, and it made me a better person.
And a more happier person. I mean,
for sure.
You got your chest puffed up a little bit and things like that. I think it's really good. Okay. Now here's a joke with you. Okay. Here's a fun one with you. What talent would you like to have, but you don't, and you'll never get? What talent would you like to have? A tough one.
I'd like to be able to golf.
Okay.
I'm not good at golf, but I mean, if I was a good golfer, I'd definitely try and pursue that instead.
Oh, okay. That's a good answer, man. That's really good. Anything as you look back, is there anything that I call it scrapbook? So your high school career is over. So is there anything scrapbook time that you look back and you'll remember? What's the biggest thing you'll remember? So when you get with your buddies and your brothers in back next year, what will you talk about?
Gosh, I think we'll probably talk about the practices where people forgot equipment and we did laps and laps of bear crawls, and we'll also talk about all the time we spent together in the summer for sure.
That's good. Bear crawls. I didn't know they did that. That's good. I used to do up and downs when I was a coach, and I'd penalize them. And those great, where you chop your feet, hit it, and come back.
Yeah, up downs. Yeah,
those are bad. Okay, couple more questions. It's really good. If energy is huge in football, what kind of energy are you going to take into Columbia this fall? Or are you going this summer, or are you going to stay in?
I'm pretty sure I'll be going in the fall.
Okay, you're not going to go in the summer. You're going to wait till fall.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of energy are you going to take to Columbia?
For me, I'm just going to try and be an everyday guy. I don't want to be up and down or left and right. I just want to be straightforward and keep the same emotion, keep the same energy all the time. Because I think being stable is a big part of being a leader. And even though I'll be young, I still want to be able to, contribute some leadership to the team.
That's really good. So that kind of energy is what you're going to have, a consistency, so to speak, and help the team. Okay. As you look back, was there ever a time in high school when the light came on for you, when the switch, when you just said, geez, it's time? Was there any time like that you can remember? You know what I'm talking about? When you just said, I got to step up. I got to get I got to clean it up. I got to get my head going out of my behind and get going. Was there a time like that?
I think that the earliest time for me was probably week 1 last year. I think we lost a game that we pretty much got embarrassed in a game we shouldn't have. And I feel like it kind of just put me in a spot where I knew that the team needed more and I needed to put more in. So from a personal standpoint, it was just losing week 1 2 years ago compared to winning week 1 this year. and just the whole change this past year where I've just tried to put more and more into it.
Okay. Sounds really good. And then my last question, who do you credit with your success as a person, who do you look back and say, man, those guys, if it wasn't been for this guy, I'd have been in trouble. Who would you say would be a person like that?
Gosh, I definitely look into Coach Stokes, but he'd probably just tell me that it's all me. I also look to my mom. I think she's been a big role model for me and inspiration from a work standpoint and, just from a personal standpoint. I look to Coach Stokes and my mom and my stepdad and a lot of older figures in my life because they show me the right way to work and the right way to do things.
It's really, you better mention your mom, because all athletes, her mom. I know your stepfather and those guys are good, and then Coach Stokes. That's quite an honor to say that about him, because he's done a good job. He's a little adversity, and I know him pretty well, so that's super. Okay, I think that's good. Let's talk the last thing about Columbia. So you don't know for sure what you're going to come out of there with. I tell guys all the time, I think I talked to you a little bit, Braden, before we went on here, is these guys are all visiting Wisconsin's and Ohio States and all these big schools. And they're going to really have to be careful, because with the transfer portal, I think he did such a smart thing. And I told you I want to leave with that. But I think you really did a smart thing by committing to wherever, committing early, especially the Ivy League. Gosh, you're going to be in New York City and, and all those neat things like that. Plus, you're going to play good football and you're going to have a great education. And I think it's really good. Well, thank you very much for being on my show today, or my program. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
It was really good having you on. Okay. Thank you.